Okay, so there is no actual right way to sow seed. You take the seed, you put it in the dirt, you nurture it, you grow it. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. It's April 1st, everybody. So I'm going to be dropping my seed in the ground. This is how I map out my garden per the tray. So there is 3, 6, 9 cells per these little trays. And what I will do is I will plant, plant 1 to 2 seeds in each one of these cells, and then I duplicate it on my distribution in my distribution trays that are over there. So I use the Miracle-Gro seed starting potting mix. Make sure it says this, seed starting potting mix. There's another, there's a topsoil, there's a composting mix that they make also for outdoor plants and for potting, and it's not the same as the seed starting. This one is sensitive and soft and nurturing for root stimulation and root development. You want to fill up your containers. Now I use these because they have the little holes in the bottom, and I will tell you why those holes are important in just a minute. But alright, and once you filled it up nice and full, now you see how it has the little white dots, that is plant food and some plant seed starting little mixture that helps to feed the roots of your plants once it starts growing. So yes, you want to fill it up all the way. I like to press it down like this just to make sure it's nice and compact. And so you want to make sure that it's nice and compact like so. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to take, I have a garden tool that has like little points depending, and then it also has measurements, because on the back of your seed packet, it's going to show you how far into the ground, the depth in which you need to plant your seed. You do not want to plant it too deep, because then it will, once it starts to germinate, then it may not push through the soil. So you want to make sure that you read those instructions, and if you do have a tool, like I said, mine has like, I don't know if you guys can see it, it has like little measurements on the side, so I know exactly where on my little tool to poke the holes. So I don't have to look at the measurements anymore, but you see the holes? We are ready to drop our seeds, friends. You want to take 1 seed, 1 to 2, because all seeds do not have a 100% germination rate. So I like to drop 1, 2 or 3. I can't drop anything. Okay. I like to drop about 2 or 3 into each cell, and then thinning comes later. Can you see? I like to take 1, and for reals, guys, 1 or 2, you ain't gotta play with it. I tried to play when I first started gardening. I was like, I'm gonna drop like, I'm gonna drop a whole bunch, because these are tiny. And why did I do that? It was a mess. They grew. So after you have gotten your 1 to 2 seeds down in your tiny little holes, then you want to make sure that you pat over you want to bury the seeds, so you want to pat. This is so exciting. All right, So once that's all covered up, then you are good to place your tray back in its place. Don't forget to label it. You have your labels on deck. Have your little labels on deck, which I do not. Oh yes, I do. I stick them to here so I don't lose them. And then you want to make sure that you label it because you're going to fill up your whole tray just like that. Okay, so I'm back. I had to stop so I could cook dinner, but as you can see now, I have plenty of goodies for my compost as I need it. So I have completely filled my tray with both the seed starting soil as well as one to two, sometimes 3 seeds per cell. And now they're ready for their first watering. Now, remember those little holes that I showed you at the bottom of the tray? They are good because you are going to want to water your seedlings from the bottom. You want that water to get to the roots as quickly as possible without having to go through all of that soil, that by the time it gets down to where it needs to be, then it's all absorbed up and then your seedling is not getting the hydration that it needs. So that's why those are there. But for my first initial watering, I always water with this little tubey thing until from the top, just so that I know that the seed gets, you know, down in there and it nestles nice and moistly. No root damage there or anything, no harm of the roots not getting any water because it doesn't have any roots. So my first initial water, I always water from the top first, and I use rainwater, and thank goodness it has been raining over here for days. It has been raining over here for days, so I was able to catch a lot of water. So my first initial water, I always go ahead and water from the top. You want to water it until I see that there's no water like kind of sitting on top. You don't want to wash your seed out. You just want to make sure that you're moistening, getting water down all the way through to the bottom. And when you're all finished, it should look like so. So you don't want any water sitting on the top, but you want to make sure that you water it enough where it's going straight through, where it's dripping through the bottom. And how you'll know is that water will be coming out the bottom. And then that is what it should look like. You want to make sure that you are labeling everything, and then it is ready to go into position wherever you are going to be keeping your seedlings. So shall we? So your seeds do not require any type of sunlight to germinate. They just need the moisture and the water. And so I do prefer these heat mats. The heat mats are going to help for quicker germination for your seed, and then you will see quicker results. It's especially if you are trying to mass produce on a quicker level. These heat mats will definitely help your seed to germinate a lot faster. And then once they are ready and you see your first seedlings popping out, once you see your first green seedling, you want to pull that out, and then you want to go ahead and you want to sit them underneath the lights. Oh, they're not plugged in. Okay, let's try that again. So you're going to want to sit them underneath the lights. So essentially, I bring them from here when I see the first green leaves popping out, and then I put them underneath here because you're going to want to put them underneath the lights at least 6 inches so that they can start to grow. Because they are on these heat mats, you can control your humidity from the top with the ones that I have bought. I will They are so light. I will definitely put these in the description. And then I also will put the name of the heat mats that I use. I like them because they have the temperature control for, I know that's upside down. They have the temperature control for, I guess it's still upside down. I don't really know. Is it upside down? Either way, temperature control for your plants, and then and it auto adjusts to the temperature that it is outside. So this is a really cool. I've been using these for a while and they last a really long time. Also with these Solite trays, I like them for the watering from the bottom because as they're sitting on the heat lamp or on the heat mat, they're gonna need, you water from the bottom, so you just pour it directly into the tray. But when they're sitting on the heat mat, they can absorb the water pretty quickly. So you just want to keep checking that periodically, but you will know when your seedlings need water because the soil will start to brown, kind of harden on the top. So you'll know right away, and then you can just pour your water into your tray or wherever you are keeping your seedlings. If you do not have any type of tray or anything like that, you can continue to water from the top. Just remember to water around the base of the seedling. We're going to be checking back on those in about 7 to 10 business days. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to be checking back on those in about 7 to 10 days, and we will see what their progress is. I'll see you guys later.